Now that's a Russian mammoth. That's about 10 feet tall and maybe a little over 10 feet tall, and the flower is massive. It's a good foot wide. So yeah, so at least 2 of my plants were actually Russian mammoths. I thought I had planted more than that. There's another one. This one's a little shorter. The flower is just a little smaller, maybe 10 inches across. This one's only, I'd say 8 or 9 feet tall. Definitely this one's more like 12 feet tall. It's huge. I'll have to get a shot of it looking at the garage. And these were the other ones that were the wrong color, and I knew they weren't Russian mammoths because of the fact that they were the wrong color, and also because there were so many blooms on each stalk. There's one that's still blooming. Here's the fancy schmancy ones. They finally bloomed. Let's see if I can show you without getting stung. They're about 4 to 6 feet tall. And over here, some more fancy schmancy ones. And there's the fancy schmancy ones that were on the end. Those are about 6 feet tall. Lots of blooms. But anyway, to give you an idea, without showing my address, how big these are. Let's see, back up a bit. Yep, back up a bit. And that's how it looks. But you can see the one huge Russian mammoth is actually over the garage. It's so big. And over here, these are daylilies. They became overrun with weeds. My neighbor was kind enough to yank most of the weeds out. I'm not fond of them. May get rid of them sooner or later, but they're going to be hard to get out. They are really entrenched in the soil. And here's my driveway. Over here we got the morning glories. Some of them are purple. Some are more pink. Let's see, we still got a blooming pink one. They bloom in the morning because that's what they're called, morning glories. And then they go to sleep in the afternoon. And those are those volunteer tomatoes that I had a billion of. Got about 16 salads out of that. Here is, if you can remember, I was talking about the milkweed, and at first I thought it would never bloom. Then I found out it's a type of milkweed that's very short and only blooms in September and has lacy little leaves on it and all that stuff. Well, needle leaves on it. And it is blooming, finally. I did see a monarch in the yard, but not on the milkweed, so I don't know if this is really a monarch-friendly milkweed. Next year I'll try a different kind. And most of our volunteer tomatoes have collapsed and died. It's that time of year. But I can see the asparagus again. And that has Jersey Giant there. In front of it is Purple Passion. More Purple Passion over there if you can see it through the tomatoes. Not really. Not really. And there's more Purple Passion there if I'm focusing on the right thing. Lots of Jersey Giant, little bit of Purple Passion. I'm going to replant some Purple Passion again next spring, because that would be pretty to see purple asparagus. It's supposed to taste good too. Getting down towards the end of the season with the pumpkins. Like I said, there's no activity at all from the cargo pumpkins, and I'm very, very disappointed with those. But we've had a lot of crazy activity from the Red Warty Things. There's one, I think, growing right there if I've got the camera on it. You can see it through the leaves, maybe not. Everything's starting to get powdery mildew, which is normal for this time of year. But these Red Warty Things are really productive. Look at that. That's going to be the next one I pick. I might pick it today. They're huge. I'll show you a few in the garage. This is a plant for really the side of a pond, which I'm intending to put in next year, but I'm not sure where yet. In the meantime, I'll try to keep it happy. I don't know where I'm going to plant it because I'm not sure where the pond's going to be. I probably should have called Julie, as they say, and find out where things are underground here, so I don't, if I dig a pond, I won't cut off my, well, the electricity's up there and the phone's up there, but I won't cut off my gas or anything like that, or anyone else's. And there's a Red Warty thing. They start out yellow, and they stay yellow for a long, long time. Here's my corn, which has gone by. I did get a few ears, not really good production, but I only had a few plants, and they weren't growing in really good conditions, so I didn't expect much. Just did it for the fun of it. Oh, goodness gracious. This is gonna be fun down here when I have to go over it with a lawnmower, but yeah, I just stepped on a vine, I guess. You don't have to worry too much about stepping on most pumpkin vines because they put down roots all along the vine, and I've even had plants where the base of the plant has been attacked by vine borers and it died, and the rest of the vine did just fine for the rest of the summer. So it's not a big deal. You can even cut vines back if they start going somewhere they're not supposed to, and they'll be fine. It's not a worry. Lots of powdery mildew here, and there's one of the last pumpkins of the season there, a little volunteer. There's a couple of them there, but the other one I don't think is going to last. There's one more volunteer pumpkin. Hopefully this one will make it. Am I showing it to you at all? Yeah, I guess I am. Okay. Onions are all gone. Strawberries are still doing stuff. Still disappearing once they get ripe. Here are the Tam jalapenos. On this plant they're turning black, so they're hard. I mean, they're not soft or rotting or anything like that, but they're turning black, so I'm not going to eat from that plant because I don't understand what's going on. But here's a Tam jalapeno here. So I did get something from them after all. And here's the burpee green pepper, and that one's producing nicely. And where's my Black Beauty tomato? Here it is. I'm getting a little nicked up. Not ripening yet. But that's the only one I think I'm going to get. But that plant had a rough start, so that's okay. There's giant carrots. More giant carrots. Those won't be ready until almost the frost. A lot of plants I'm just letting go here. And potatoes are dying back. Those are some Danvers half-long carrots that I'm going to let go till the frost. And lots of bees all over the basil. I think there's one indigo rose tomato, but it's not ripe. So I'm not even watering things anymore, to tell you the truth. It's the middle of September. Yeah, more tam jalapeno. Here we go. Lots of wasps. And this is a burpee cucumber. These are getting really bitter, so because it's the end of the season and that's what they do. So I might not even bother to pick them anymore. These are the round cucumbers that were very good. One right there. I think it's going to be the last one of the season. And got to show you the cactus. Look at that cactus. Have I got my thing on it? I can't see because it's so sunny. But yeah, that's the cactus right there. Really sprouted. And over here we're going to go in the garage. Nice and messy. This is the only place I have to keep my pumpkins. I had another one. This is a volunteer here. Yeah, this is the smaller of the two. I gave the big one away, but it's pretty good size. Pretty good size. Not bad. Maybe about 7 pounds or so. Here is one of the Red Warty Things. That's huge. Not as big as the one that I gave away. That one was about 25 to 30 pounds. But this one's pretty big. And here are a couple more Red Warty Things. Also very large. Over 10 pounds. There we go. 10 to 15. There. And that's my messy garage. Okay. Alright. Now yesterday, I'm not normally one for spraying things, but I did spray all this creeping Charlie with some weed killer. Apparently the weed killer takes a few days to start working, so there's just a little bit where you can see where the creeping Charlie's dying back, but not very well yet. And here's my favorite rose, blooming again, and I'm going to spray it with a little bit of insecticide to keep the bunnies from eating it, because the last time they ate all the buds off, and I got just the one flower and they ate all the buds off. I wasn't too happy. So that's going to be my project for today, is to spray some natural bug spray on it so the bunnies will not be attracted. Got a little bit of lavender here. Here is heirloom. There we go. Gonna bloom again pretty soon. And there's the world's biggest marigold bush. There's a weed. I'm not sure. It looks like it might be a sunflower or something, so I'm going to just leave it in there and then chop it down if it turns out to be ugly. And there is quietness preparing to bloom again. And there's my white lavender, isn't doing very well. I think I had a huge ant nest just right over here, and I made a big mistake. I put a lot of borax on it, and I think that drifted over here and is affecting the lavender. I got a volunteer tomato too. And there's Mary Rose. Just bloomed again and is, gotta get my shadow out of the way here, preparing to bloom yet again. Oh, isn't that pretty? Lavender, a little bit of butterfly, I don't know if you can see the butterfly. He's really tiny. There. And hydrangea. That's nickel blue. Doing okay. That's a new hydrangea. That's a dwarf red hydrangea oak leaf. I'm a little concerned about it because the leaves are turning colors, but it may be okay. And here is the fairy preparing to bloom again after a long period of silence. And another hydrangea that replaced the one that dropped dead on me. It's doing okay. Oak leaf hydrangea. And here is another oak leaf hydrangea. And here is Dr. Robert Corn. Getting nice and tall. And there is nickel blue again. A little bit of nickel blue hydrangea. And we should visit Harry. There's Harry. Harry is being very hardy these days. Probably over a foot tall now. I'm going to have to get a ruler out here and measure him. But I did spray the whole front lawn with that weed killer, and we'll see what happens. I just don't like using that stuff, but this lawn is so overrun with creeping Charlie that I had to do something. And here is a Hanson's cherry bush. It has been doing well. It right after I put it out here, it got lopped by a rabbit, and I thought I lost it. But after the rabbit cut it back, it leafed out, and it's doing fantastic. And this one sat there all summer. It did not get lopped by a rabbit. And finally I pruned it and found out it was still alive, and now it's leafing out. So I hope it isn't too late for it to get some strength up for the winter. Seems like it's going to be warm for a while yet, so it could be okay. Alright, so definitely things are winding down here. So I think I'll say goodbye for this week, and I'll talk to you next time.